Hello, I am Dark Lord Jeff Mack, villain extraordinaire, ask anybody. And this is part of my ongoing series. And when I say ongoing, I mean it went off for about 2 months, and now I'm going to be on for like 7 minutes, which means that while I'm broadcasting this live, the people who want to see this will just notice that I'm broadcasting as I finish up. So I should probably have written some sort of joke for the end, but for those of you who don't know this series, what I do is I take Peter's Evil Overlord list and I explain the flaws in each part, that is, each entry, in the list. I was originally doing this at random, but I realized that if I did that, I would eventually run out of randomness because I would just look at the screen right before I went done. Like, I'll pick that number, wait, I've done that, I've done that, I've done that. So I'm now doing them in order. And I'm pretty sure that I'm at number 7. If I'm not at number 7, I'm at number 7 now. And number 7 is, so part of it is that I always do this off the top of my head, not because you don't deserve a well thought out and logical explanation of the strategy, but because it's a challenge to see if I can answer you as a true Dark Lord right off the top of whatever is underneath this large and mysterious cloak I'm wearing. Number 7. When I've captured my adversary and he says, "Look, before you kill me, will you at least tell me what this is all about?" I'll say no and shoot him. No. On second thought, I'll shoot him, then say no. Now, for those of you who know this series, you know that this actually does reflect a lot of how I feel much of the time. Not that I necessarily go around shooting my enemies. My enemies are usually busy shooting themselves in the foot or various other appendages, but I am not responsible for the fact that they're idiots. Let me very quickly, because this is my first video back and I'm just taking a couple of minutes, let me very quickly explain to you what is wrong with this, which is that for once, I don't actually think there's a big structural problem with this rule. I don't think this rule is based around something else that is a big flaw. This is actually a pretty good way to treat a captured adversary. The problem is, how do you know this person is your adversary? Wait a second. I mean, it's possible, right, for you to have an evil plan that no one else knows about. But you know that there's someone who's going to stand in your way and you're going to have to get them, etc. But that's probably part of the plan. This kind of sounds like you've captured someone who was trying to stop you, like someone who was onto you, but not onto you enough to actually know what was going on. And yes, when someone discovers what you're doing, it is in general a good idea if what you're doing is secret, not to tell that secret to, well, anybody, but particularly not to tell that secret to those who are capable of and actively attempting to stop you. That's true. Completely agreed. But your adversary doesn't know what this is all about. How do you know this is your adversary? How do you know this isn't just somebody who stumbled in off the street? You know, it is kind of suspicious to go around just shooting random people. Even if those random people are secret agents, even if those random people themselves, and one would like to hope, they're heavily armed, they've got like cigarettes that explode or whatever else happens in the terrible Bond movies, as opposed to Daniel Craig Bond movies, which are great. How do you know? Some random person stumbles onto your operations. They're like, "Oh, that's just a nuclear reactor. We have a license for that. Yes, everything is fine. Yes, good. Would you like a brochure? Have a brochure. Would you like a tour? You don't want a tour. It's very interesting. We look at the reactor, then we leave. It's very, very, no, and they leave." That's so much less suspicious than shooting this person or getting rid of this person in general. Yes, if someone is your avowed enemy, don't tell them all your secrets. It's true. That's a point that we come back to, that, and I speak of this earlier, that monologues and gloating do have their place. And the place is usually when you're absolutely sure that your monologue won't destroy you, or you've done a cost-benefit analysis and decided, hey, yeah, there is a chance that if I tell this person all about my genius, they will use that information to destroy me, even though they're not as smart as I am. But if I give them all the information in my brain, I am temporarily giving them all the smarts and giving up my advantage. That's dumb. Really, I like this idea more than most of the other rules on the list, but Really. If the person has just no clue what's going on, you don't necessarily have to shoot them. You don't have to get rid of the body. You don't have to worry about the investigation. You don't have to worry about their angry lovers. You don't have to worry about like their teammates, or if depending on what kind of plot you're a part of, their old army comrades coming out of retirement just to hunt down the person who did in their friend, etc. You generate a lot of enemies unnecessarily. If the person doesn't know what's going on, then just tell them that everything is fine and let them go. Be like, oh, sorry, you were accidentally detained by one of our chief librarians. Oh, you didn't know this was a library? This is a library. It's a library of accounting books. Do you want to read you don't want to read any accounting books? You just want to leave? I understand. And then they go. Simple as that. Much easier, much simpler, way less revenge. Revenge is great if you're perpetrating it. Revenge is silly if you draw it on yourself for no good reason whatsoever. I am Dark Lord Jeff Mack. I will be returning to this broadcast on a weekly basis. Please do. What do they say? Please like, subscribe, deobfuscate, levitate, whatever else you're supposed to do at the end of YouTube videos. Please do all those things. I welcome your comments. Does anyone not welcome comments? I welcome your feeding the algorithm by saying things in response to this video, especially if what you're saying is something really mean about me. In fact, if you don't like me, I invite you to come and say mean things because, oh my goodness, it just makes things go terribly viral. That wasn't part of my original plan, but hey, I will work with other people's mistakes any day of the week. Thank you all. I am Dark Lord Jeff Mack. I've said that like 5 times, haven't I? I'm out of practice. It's exciting to be back. Thank you all. Over and out.